Hello everyone, once again welcome back to our series on division, and today we will conclude this topic by learning more about word problems based on division. Today we will be solving a few word problems and I'm sure they'll help you solve any questions that you face. So the first question that we will be looking at is this. A book distributor orders 231 books. He plans to evenly distribute the books to 7 stores. How many books will each bookstore receive? Now, as you've already learned about word problems, first we are going to understand the word problem, then we are going to take out the given data, and then we are going to look at how to solve the problem. So in this case, I have understood that there is a book distributor who has ordered 231 books. Now this man, he has 231 books and he plans to give every shop the same number of books. So there are 7 shops. So how many books is each shop going to receive? This is what I need to find. Now that I've understood my question, I will look at my data. So as you can see on your screen here, first is 231 books, and all these books need to be distributed equally in 7 stores. So I need to understand that in order to get the solution for this question, I am going to divide 231 with 7. So I get something like this, and when I solve this, I can see that the first number is 2 and this is smaller than 7, so I cannot use this number. So what I'll do is I'll use the next two numbers. 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14, 7 threes are 21, and 7 fours are 28. As you can see, 28 is much bigger, so I will use 7 threes are 21. Now here you can see I have 23 minus 21. Now all of us know that 23 minus 21 gives me nothing but a 2. So I write a 0 here and a 2 here. And then this 1 is left out. As you can see, this 1 is left out. Now before I move on to bringing this 1 down, I want you to remember one important factor. Most of you are making this mistake. The mistake is when you're writing this 3's, where I have used two numbers, 7 threes are 21, note that I have written this 3 above the second number. Please remember that you have to write the number here and not over the first digit. The reason being, though it does not make your solution wrong, but at times it can lead to confusion when we are dividing big numbers. So let us move on to solving our question. Now as you can see, this 1 which has been left has to be brought down. So I bring this 1 down, and once this 1 comes here, I see that it makes the number 21. So 7 threes are 21 again, so I write the 3 at the top and bring the 21 down. So it should look like the following, and when you solve this, you get a remainder of 0. So when we have done this, we know that our quotient is 33. So here the question is asking us how many books will each bookstore receive. So I know that my answer for this case is 33 books. So let us look at how to construct our statements. So at first you see number of books ordered equals to 231 books. Now the second statement, which is our second given data, is the number of stores, which is equivalent to 7 stores. So the last closing statement is nothing but the question asked. So the number of books, each bookstore receives 231 divided by 7, which is equivalent to 37 books. So this is how your solution will look. Now let us move on and look at another question. And before I show you the question, I want you to remember this is partially a trick question and I will be leaving it incomplete, and I want to see how many of you can get the right answer. So as you can see, this question is asking me 89 people have been invited to a banquet. The caterer is arranging tables. Each table can seat 12 people. How many tables are needed? So here the question is very clear. They are asking how many tables are needed. So when we are going to solve, we know that there are 89 people attending some event, and one table can seat 12 people. So to get the number of tables, I have to divide. That is very clear to us. So I'm going to divide 89 and 12. So as you can see, it should look like the following. And then if you know your 12 tables right, we know that 12 6 are 72 and 12 7s are 84. So we will use the 7 times table. And when we come here, we are going to write 84 down. And when we subtract, we are left with 5. As 9 minus 4 gives us 5. What does this exactly mean? So if I bring up a round table for you, and around each table there are 12 such people, okay, as you can see on your screen right now, then how many tables are needed? As you can see, the quotient here is 7, but I'm left with 5 people standing because these 5 people do not have a table to sit. So I'm going to leave this answer incomplete. If you know the answer, leave it in the comments on our Google Classroom. So let us move on to our third problem for the day. Here you can see, in your classes you counted 120 hands. How many students were at the class? So this is a pretty simple question if you understand it well. Here it says, in your class you have counted 120 hands. So 120 hands are present in total. So how many people are in that class? How will you find this out? So before we move on, we need to understand how to solve, because I've been given only one number here. So what is my other number which I can use for my division to find the number of students? So something by logic. It says how many students. Now we know that each human, each person or each student has only 2 hands. Okay, when we have only 2 hands, that means each person having 2 hands, if we divide it by the total number of hands, we get the number of people. So we get the following equation: 120 divided by 2 gives me the number of students. Let us quickly solve this question. So as you can see, I've written 2 outside and 120 inside. Now again I see that the number 1 is smaller, so I cannot divide it here. So I need to take these 2 numbers. So 2 6 are 12, and when I subtract, I write the zeros at the bottom. Now note, many of you are making this mistake that I still have a 0 left behind. Okay, so I still have a 0 left behind. Now many of you, what you do is, when you see this 0, you still write the answer as just 6. This 0 also needs to be divided. So I bring the 0 down, and when I bring this 0 down, I know 2 multiplied by 0 gives me a 0. So I'm going to multiply this 2 with a 0 to get my 0. So it should look something like this, and when I subtract, I get. So as you can see here, I have 60, not the quotient 6, but I have 60. So number of students is equal to 60. So now let us look at the statements. It should look like the following: number of hands counted equals to 120 hands. Number of hands per student, that means the number of hands each student has equals to 2 hands. So therefore number of students present equals to 120 divided by 2, which we found the quotient to be 60 students. So this is a few sample questions, and for today I want you to solve the following questions along with the comment in our Google Classroom. Do not forget to answer the number of tables needed. So you will be solving these 3 questions for today, and I hope that you have been able to follow division. If you have faced any difficulties in this series, feel free to contact me on WhatsApp so that I can help you individually. Have a great day, and you know where to find me.